Hello, hello, and welcome back to Pathologic. Yesterday we got ambushed and thrown into jail. Today we wake up at 14 o'clock on the 5th day. Got very slightly infected yesterday, unfortunately, as the jail cell was infected. As of now, this day is going to be short. We don't have much time, but we have a lot to do. First off, I'm going to head to see Notkin to get a map, so we know what exactly we're walking into today. As you can see, the works is already quite infected. Yeah. That's a good way to get around it. Once we talk to Notkin, I'll also check my notes.
I see double or something.
Hi there, a jolly good day to go flea catching. I've come for a map. The map will cost you 1,000 today. I'm sorry. Deal. So where is it located today? Alright. So, the Chine, the Works, and I forget what this little area is called. Fortunately, we shouldn't need to go into those areas besides going back home, so I think we're fairly free from dealing with the plague. What's our note say? Rat race. This is to announce that there is money to be made by anyone who comes into a possession of a rat, especially that of significant dexterity. Come to the works, warehouse due. Confidentiality guaranteed. Bachelor's invitation. Vivifying medium. Eureka! It seems that the nutrient medium that may produce the antibodies we need is the real deal. There's one way we can attain it, a rather gruesome operation, which is, nevertheless, rather customary for someone of your background. Come see me, and we can discuss everything in detail. I urge you not to linger. Put off any other business you have, if need be. My situation is precarious, to say the least. There's not much time left. Daniel Denkovsky. Yeah, we're in a precarious spot as well, mate. That makes two. Can only wonder what Clara's doing today. Going to keep trading with these guys for shotgun shells when I can, because we're gonna need to if we have free time today, I am going to spend it killing the people in burnt out houses for reputation. Nice, let's not put off our duties and get right to the Bachelor. We don't have much time. That must mean 15 is struck, yeah. Hey, kid. Got anything good? Yeah. That's going to be of use now. And 2 watches and a razor to get some Whoops. 2 watches and a razor will get us some uh, antibiotics. I got like 7 cents for doing that original trade. It's pretty cool. At the very least, people already don't remember what we did. So we're fairly free to move around. Mend my clothes, thank you. Now I'll put them on. Oh, they were already on. Hey there, Teensy. You don't have anything I need. What's the news? Miss Clara, the make-believe saint girl, is actually a dirty liar. Oh, really? Did she lie to you? Not to me, no. But now I know very well that she's not who she pretends to be. Who is she, then? If she lays her little hands on someone, people die. Everybody said she had a healing touch, but it's the other way around. Better avoid her embrace. Her hands are far from tender. It's not like I'm interested in her tenderness. Yeah, 2 watches and a little bandit claw thing for monomycium is a really good trade. Razors are better selling since they usually go for 100.
In order to survive, people need to remain calm.
So I've luckily escaped custody. Wonder if that's for long. How come you know about the state of my affairs? I've been looking for you. I think I know why. We need a sample of infected tissue with a high concentration of the bacteria. A heart would work best. A living one, in fact. No more than half an hour can pass after you extract it, and the donor has to have an early, non-critical stage of the disease. Why a heart? Why not anything else? The bacteria die or become unreasonably weakened as soon as they are extracted from their nutrient medium. We need to find a way to capture the disease at an active stage. Dr. Rubin's experiments with the subject have shown that the heart is the medium where the bacteria reproduces most actively. What does that mean? I need the disease itself. You need the useful antibodies produced by a living being. I think both can be found within the same medium. The blood of a person is infected, but not yet devoured by the plague. Antibodies are suppressing the bacteria's developments are precisely the reason for that person to not have been devoured yet. Do you really think, Oinon, that people can fight the sand plague? Rumor has it that native steppe people are actually unlikely to die from the disease. Not sure there have been any lethal cases at all. Dancers, butchers, those bull people of yours, what's the word? That doesn't mean that the infection passes them by, but for some reason the disease doesn't seem to reproduce within their bodies. Perhaps it has something to do with their blood. I see your point. Butchers, dancers, and odonge. I wonder why. Must have been some kind of pattern here. It's a shame those people are all locked up inside the termitary right now. I wonder if that locked up horde could still be alive and kicking. I'll have to find out, and so I will. That's my job, not yours. You won't find any butchers in the town. Everyone who had escaped the termitary has fled. Not every single one. As far as I know, someone is still being harbored by a certain sharp-tongued lady. Her name is Aspity. You can also find dancers in the pub, but the pub is Andres Namadin's domain. Hell, if he allows you to open any of them up in front of him. Dancers may go out for a walk from time to time, though, right? Okay, I'll find someone. Aspity keeps track of every fugitive. Maybe some of them have a death wish? Better ask her. A den for the workmen used to be called the Golgoi Kin, but now has a Latin name. You can always find shaman dancing girls here. Well, we shall get right on that then. Check out what Aspity and they know about it. If we remember though, there's a parallel here. The girl that died on day 5 of The Bachelor is the daughter of the Hunchback Var, and she's known for dancing at the Broken Hearts pub. But as you may have noticed, we have options now. We can go after a butcher or the dancer girl. Potentially, we can prevent the fire starters from coming out. At least prevent them from following the lead of the Hunchback. Anyways, now that I've become infected, I'm gonna want to stop by here and see if there's any good clothes I can buy. No. Alright, I'll just sell a bunch of rifle ammo. These. Sell a couple of those. Keep the knife. 38 to a mere 3's. Not that great right now. Don't need lemons. That's good. So as haste, I'm gonna go from the Broken Hearts pub down to Aspity. Hopefully that will reduce our backtracking. Fortunately, the gut is only burnt out. That reduces a lot of plague. Alright, but the way I'm coming up is moving through the chine, so I'm gonna be real quick about that. Oh, there's also a tot and a teensy. Alright, I'll give you 2 claws. Got a powder? No, you have the worst item in the game. Good. Stop by here real quick for food. Egg and milk, it'll do, I guess. Yeah, who's in danger today? Notkin. Vlad the Younger wants to talk. Once we have this heart, I'll go see him. Cool. Let's quickly dip through the chine and get over to the Earth District. There's plenty of clothes shops we'll be passing by. I don't need to risk it. Take all of these. Tourniquet for selling, bandage for general healing. Coffee. Hello. Would you me to do anything special for you, young Burak? As a daughter of Budo, I have to obey you. Locals call me Willow. Yes, I would like you to tell me how many of you dancers have died of the plague since it began. Only one. The one that was ripped apart and burnt at the bone stake 4 days ago. Why do you ask? What's that look you're giving me? I'm asking because I'm very much surprised that you do not get sick. Oh, but we do. Can't imagine how many of us died during the first outbreak. Butchers too. That was a few years ago. It's just that we have more options. The disease leaves us quickly if we're not seriously infected. If we are, however, then we die. Why do you think it works like that? Do you know what brides are? The brides who are engaged to the earth. The brides who summoned fire. Not terribly, no. They are no mistresses, of course. Compared to a mistress, even a young one, they're merely candles next to a bonfire. They do have powers, however, and impressive powers at that. Brides say that our juices flow in such a fashion that we can do no harm. Our bodies are clean. What do you mean by that? There's not too much sand dirt in our body. It leaves them quickly. We can't infect anyone at all, that much is certain. If the dirt is abundant, however, then it devours us like any other person. There's nothing to be done about that. Seems like you are blessed with a great metabolism. Could have thought metabolism is a thing that can depend on the social status. See you later. One of the Odung is in luck. He owns a herb bride, one of the Earth's betrothed. Something's brewing here. So that might just be another out for us. If we don't want to kill Willow, and we don't want to take the heart of a butcher, there is another herb bride to check out, potentially. And from what Willow says, unfortunately an herb bride sounds quite optimal for extracting, so if we can get an herb bride that isn't Willow, I am willing to take that risk. Which, with much respect for the deceased dancer, or soon to be deceased. Before I go into that, yeah, I'll come to that food shop later. I want to take some infected organs. Yeah. There. Just get in, get out. Yet again, none. For space, I'll sell this ring. And the tourniquet. Fuck it. Now we get moving. don't have anything I want, so I'm just gonna dip out. Head to the crude sprawl, which, fortunately, despite the infection being right there, is mercifully untouched. Still a fucking skin graft in the grass, though. Aspity.
Yes.
That kin is ready to follow your lines, O eldest of the Buraks. Is that so, sister? Never waste breath saying things I don't mean. My lines have brought me to a bloody path. Oh, you're looking for your sacrifice, aren't you? I know. How can I help you? I need a butcher. That's a weird thing for you to say. Do you really think that your father had such a worthless creature in mind? You're looking in the wrong place. A butcher is but a man. Why concern yourself with men? I need him for other purposes. Will you tell me? You know that I am making a panacea in the tissue of one of Buddo's children. What a ridiculous idea. It's not my place to judge what the eldest families do, but you are a different case. You didn't grow up here. You only came back recently. I fear you've fallen under the bachelor's influence, the prickly prick that'll bury us all. There's no way in hell I'm going to help him, or his minions. Don't you judge my actions, woman. I follow the lines of my father's will. You might as well open up one of the worms or a bride dancer. That would be of more use. And have you tried getting into the termitary? I have. It's impossible, and I'm very short on time. You see, it is indeed not my place to judge. Do you want me to show where the butchers are hiding? Yes. There are no more runaways in town. Last ones were let out secretly this morning. They are planning to perform a rite and make a sacrifice of their own, though, so they went to the gathers. Those moronic animals, do they really believe they can guess the lines required for such a feat? Unthinkable. Thank you, Aspity. Same place. So if we want butchers or potentially a herb bride, that's where we have to go. Huh. Judging by the skin grafts in the grass here, this is a useless observation, but I want to point it out. I guess the designers consider this line over here to be considered a part of the works, since, you know, the textures of the grafts appear there. But, in effect, well, yeah, that part of the step can't get infected. The steps, at least in this version of the game, are completely free of plague. I would be, I would prefer to mention, however, that, in the soundtrack there actually is a song for infected steps. It's just that, it never actually occurs in-game. Instead, the song for that is actually remixed into some of the, songs heard in the cutscenes at the cathedral and the endings, which is kind of funny. Not used in-game, but it was chopped up for other reasons. Going to leave some hearts and the, yeah, thing I made. Let's get back onto the move. Got a long walk to the worm to go. Goodbye, plague stand. I head out into the endless ocean of brown. I could swear it was a military shooter out here. Just without the lens flare. And bloom. And a bunch of other obnoxious post effects that make the game look significantly worse. Actually, that's a good question. Why is lens flare even in the game? Well, not this game, but in most games. Because, as I see it, lens flare is exactly what it sounds like. It's flare on a lens. But when you're playing those games, you're playing in first person. Your eyes aren't a lens. It's acting quite literally as if you're looking... it's like the whole Lakitu situation in Super Mario 64, where your eyes are just like fucking cameras that are monitoring your character, but it's not. You're just, John McShoot man. And then bloom and motion blur just generally look terrible. It's amazing how fake they look, no matter how hard you try to make them work. And motion blur just makes any beauty just disappear whatsoever. You turn around slightly and the whole world turns into a fucking Silent Hill nightmare. I do truly love smudge texture number 8000 in any game that forces motion blur. Hey worm, take your blood. I was looking to talk to the dancer. Nah, she has nothing to say. And she isn't the target we're looking for. Well, if this doesn't work out, nothing says I'm not gonna come back behind her and, respectfully shove a shell into the back of her skull. It's kind of funny how there's just no graceful way to kill anybody. No matter what, you're gonna have to forcefully jam a bullet into somebody's face or hack them apart with a knife. Or even worse, the scalpel. But my, I do indeed see a bride. You are your father's son, you who know the lines, you know how to liberate flesh. Open this woman up for us. What for? Her juices nourish the steppe. She is full of Mother Buddha's warmth. We want to quench the earth's thirst for blood when with hers to stop the death. Whose death? Sons and daughters of the vein of Buddha are dying in the termitary. The Mother Superior is still young. Her warmth is not enough to keep the plague at bay. The dead mistress's daughters haven't come into their power yet. We need a sacrifice. Opening an herb bride will help. Why should I smear my hands with innocent blood? You will be rewarded. You will do a good deed. You will be loved and respected. Our children will grant you meat and even bread. So I'll have a better reputation if I kill this girl? Yes, I'll have the best reputation possible. Bring Mother Buddha's warmth back to her and the vein will reward you. Will you accept me as my father's heir after the sacrifice? If the sacrifice helps. So that's so. We respect your knowledge, Hoinon. We know the simple lines of bull flesh, but the secret lines of human flesh are concealed from us. Okay, I will open up this girl for you. Are you the only son of Oinon Burak, the elder of your kin, and heir to the leadership in the kin? Yes, I am Burak. Have you come to open my flesh up along the Ragai line? What do you mean? I want to feed the steppe with my blood to stop the plague, but I'm not strong enough for the earth to accept this. Sacrifice is sufficient. Please, make them go away. You have the boon of fertility, don't you? The steppe loves me and grants me herbs. I can call White Whip with my songs, and brown twire is lured by the warmth of my breath. Black twire is abundant if I give my juices to the earth in winter. Will twire become rarer if you die? Of course it will, now and forever. I wanted to give birth to a daughter in 9 years so that she'd take my warmth and become a bride in my stead. I'm the only one to call herbs out of Suok's gut until then. Don't kill me, please. I will be of more use to you alive. For the sake of the town, girl, I truly, truly need your heart. I'm not so sure about that. Let them take your blood, and I will take something else. You're about to come back to the earth. Prepare yourself. Shotgun's a bit too messy. Let's make it quick. And a girl lays in the grass. A heart. And an herbal recipe. You are your father's son. You know how to liberate flesh. Open this woman up for us. The earth be thick with her blood. Sup, dude? Alright. And that's that. Let me check my infection. We're doing pretty good on that. So now we must return to the Bachelor, presumably. Fortunately, it's close by, so I don't even have to wait 30 minutes. Or, well, I won't pass 30 minutes getting him the heart. Once the Bachelor is happy, I'll read my other notes and get to side quests. But since we're short on time this day, I really want to just fixate on the main quest, so we know Notkin won't come into danger tonight.
What is this disease?
I was wrong to underestimate the steppe medical knowledge. Here, I brought you a daughter of Bordeaux and her bride. It's the same thing as a dancer. Good. Are you sure she was sick? No, I am not. Well, peace be with her. The steppe will take her, don't worry.
I'm tired. I've had enough.
What did you see? This is exactly what we were looking for. It's still alive. The bacteria are in there. One of the antibodies essential for making a serum. I don't know for sure yet. I'll send you a report in a few hours. Don't go about cutting people's hearts out for your panacea until then. It's a controversial solution, you know. What? Do you even hear yourself? Sorry, I meant no offense. It was just a momentary lapse of, well, you know. None taken. Just so that you know, I'm bloody thankful to you, Burak. I don't know what it means to you, but for me, this heart is a treasure. Wait for news from me. It'll most likely be good. 50-50. Like that, the main quest is complete. Now, we have some notes. I have a appreciably profitable offer to make to you, and has to do with that well of mine. Please treat it as a matter of urgency and importance. The younger, what does Anna say? I hope a destitute entertainer like myself would not be crossing the boundaries of what is acceptable. Were she to invite the gallant doctor for a cordial conversation? I've recently become aware of your projects, and I find it most intriguing. Looking forward to meeting you, Anna Angel. Huh. Alright. So first off, meeting up with Vlad the Younger about that truthfully blasphemous well, seems more important than chatting with a dubiously moral woman. I don't think it's brought up again in this playthrough, but as we remember from the Bachelor's route, she was a part of a caravan, one that's known for kidnapping children to make them into circus performers. What I currently do not know, and the reason why I don't hate her entirely, is that I don't know if she's one of the kidnapped kids, or someone who kidnapped people. So I choose to keep my judgment to myself, at least until we get evidence proving otherwise. I ain't about to blame a victim if that's all she is. Oh right, I should be heading downwards. Autopilot kicked in. Vlad. See? The marks have stopped precisely at the wrong time. What happened? The ground crumbled beneath the workers. Climbed down the hole and saw an opening there. Seems like the bottom of this creep hole is made of the same hard materials that any previous digging efforts died against. So there have been digging attempts before, and they've died. Never even heard of it. Of course there have been digging attempts. A lot of them. This isn't the first time we've tried digging a well here. It's no use. Not a single drop of water. The idea is tossed around that there's sintered sand or whinstone down below. There are always ideas. So I've got a new theory now. So what is down there? It's a whole cave. Those good-for-nothings tried to convince me that they had seen a light there. Heard groans and muffled singing. Nonsense. Those worker types are unbearably superstitious. So now they won't go down. Not for love or money. Not a single person brave enough among them. Turns out I am once again doing something blasphemous. Why? Same reason you're discouraged from cutting dead bodies open. According to them, we're opening the body of the earth, illegally and shamelessly. This sudden discovery has reminded them that Mother Buddha is a living, breathing being, just like anyone else. Do you fancy this cave to be a part of her digestive system? Of course not. Are you out of your mind? It's her vascular system. If you go down there and find out what it is, I'll make it up to you. How much do you think you could contribute to an expedition like this? 7,000. That is all I can donate these days, and 2 recipes. I've acquired them when the worms were killing their traders. Deal. Um, looks like, flesh and rock. I won't exactly call this, pleasant. Whispering. So the singing's real, at least. And the lights certainly are torches. But I swear to God, I truly hope there's an exit from this cave, or else you've doomed me. And possibly this whole town. This place certainly looks bloody and meaty, but I don't see any indications that it's anything alive. This game was cheap. There's plenty of good jump scares that it could have shoved at you, but the developers have tact and didn't do that. Christ, this goes on forever. Who put up these torches? Did the miners really dig out this far? Doubt it, since they were mystified by even seeing a light. Well, that's a unique room. It's a child in a rat mask. Sup? Rat Prophet. Isn't it Burak? Burak, it is. I wonder what you were expecting to see. Wait, what kind of creature are you? Me? I'm a prophet. The prophet. Why are you here? Can you not hear your father? It's my father. I can hear him alright, but I don't believe it. It's a trick. Really? Hiccup on my part, I guess. Try listening some more. I feel dizzy. What is it? This? This is the sound of you collapsing. Some strange entities are dwelling in the bowels of Budo. What kind of creature was it? A ghost? An apparition brought forth by my own restless mind? It said that a large number of rats may be able to instill the most bizarre thoughts into a human being. Maybe that was the case. I feel a whiff of fresh air from somewhere above. I'll go back to Vlad the Younger. Alright, you take care, potentially real child. Oh. So that's where that manhole goes. And I'm just gonna run out the kerosene because who cares? Let's report back to Vlad the Younger then with our strange discovery. At the very least, we have a rat child in the sewers. At worst, we have entered the body of something great and big. And that I'm also hallucinating children. blood.
Where are the dead disappearing to?
I'd go there myself if it wasn't for my claustrophobia. I've been there, came out on the other side, as you can see. Congratulations. So what is it? A rather old cave. You're right, its bottom doesn't look like soil at all. Who would do something like that? I think I've met a weird creature there, but it could have been a hallucination. Did it look like a man-like rat by any chance? Yes. What do you know about it? Do you know what it is? Curious. Very curious. I think it's an illusion. A specter appearing to very different people on some creature's will. You've fallen prey to hypnosis. What did it say to you? It spoke about my father. It was all very unclear. Here is the reward for your courage, Master Burak. Thank you. Let us never mention it again. Well, it is curious. 7,002 more recipes. Glad the younger was satisfied as I broke the news to him, though he didn't want to continue that discussion. Got the impression he thought that our conversation would be overheard. There is a mystery here. Wonder what he knows of the creature, and how did he come by this knowledge? Strange.